right. Alright guys, as promised, a video about my new camera, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited to Just kidding guys, there's literally nothing in this box. Of course I'm filming with the A7 IV right now, but yes, I did promise you guys a video talking about my brand new camera, the A7 IV, which I just got a day or two before Christmas, so technically it was a Christmas gift. I did have to trade in my A7 III because there's no other way I was affording an A7 IV without at least chopping off some of the price. And I'd recommend, if you want to trade in your camera for something new, check out EA Mobitech. They're the ones I went to have my Sony A7 III traded in. So they're very professional when it comes to like evaluating the gear that you have and giving you like a proper price for your next purchase, your next camera and stuff. So yeah, it's finally here. I talked about it in my A7 III versus A7 IV video. So I'm not gonna talk about like what's better and what. But anyway, it's currently the 26th or 7th. The dates are getting mixed up at this point ever since Christmas, but I used this camera throughout my trip to upcountry, or shags as we call it here. And yeah, I used the camera throughout the trip to take photos of the family, photos of the place, of the home that we were staying in. There's a lot to talk about my experience with the camera, because the last time I did a video on it, in this aspect, it was more to do with a test unit that I'd been given versus the camera that I'd been shooting for about 2 years. Now that I've had the camera and it's like mine to use and mine to test and mine to figure out the menus and the settings and all that stuff, what do I like about it and what do I not like about it, right? Because there's actually like one or two things I actually genuinely don't like about the design of the camera. But first, we're going to talk about the things I truly like, and the things that I'm enjoying about this camera, like right off the get-go, compared to my previous camera, which is the A7 III. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is, and I did talk about this in my previous video, battling the two cameras together, and that's the autofocus. And that's because, and this is something I didn't do in my tests, I'm able to now film all my YouTube videos using my prime lens, the 50mm f1.8, which if you are a user of on any of the older Sony bodies, you know it's not great at focusing. It's a lot of focus hunting, and I could barely shoot any YouTube videos using it, even though I wanted to, because I liked the optics. It's not the best lens regardless, but the optics was still better than my kit lens, because I only have a kit lens, and this 50 because I don't have money. I'm very poor. If you want to M-Pesa me, it's fine. But yeah, the difference between the autofocus systems allows me to actually use this prime lens in video, shooting people, animals, cars. Like, it allows me to use this lens like it's an actual lens in my kit and not something I'm like reaching for and going like, but then it's gonna get my shots out of focus, I don't know. So this camera actually allows me to pick my 50mm and shoot any kinds of videos, and I'm not gonna have to worry about it losing focus or focus hunting or just having an unprofessional look to the videos. And that to me is like a massive difference, especially as somebody who just can't go out buying lenses all the time, and even when you rent out lenses for work, because like I'd showed in my previous A7 III versus A7 IV video, I had done a live set using a Sigma 35mm f1.4 DGDM, the newer ones that Sigma makes with updated focusing systems. And throughout that set, where I was literally just moving backwards and forwards, it would lose my talent. Whatever mode I tried, it just didn't work out. Even when I tried the sport mode, I tried zones, I tried what's that one? Wide. I just tried all the different types of focus areas, and it didn't do a good job. It lost focus. Whichever movements I was doing, when I was going left to right, was going back and forth, it would consistently just hunt for focus. Because something I realized with the A7 III is it doesn't lock a focus point in when it's on continuous autofocus. Even if you're in face detection, it'll see a face, but it'll keep looking for the face even though it's already found it. That's the main issue that camera has that makes it almost obsolete for the kind of work that I do. And also like in self-filming situations like this, you know, all the YouTube videos I shot with it, you know, had focusing issues all the time. So I'm just gonna speed through most of the other stuff because the autofocusing thing was, I think, my biggest gripe with the A7 III. So for now, I'll just briefly go through the other things that I really like about this camera that I experienced using it out in a, you know, kind of real situation. The first thing I think I'll talk about is overheating, because this is one I've heard a lot of people around the world talk about, the overheating of this camera, and they say it really overheats. Now, I understand that, you know, living in different parts of the world, like your ambient temperature is always gonna be higher or lower in certain, depending on where you live, right? There's reviewers that say they've never overheated. There's others that say they've overheated, like the moment they turned on the camera, they couldn't even set up the shot and it's already overheated. Now, so this is technically the third YouTube video that I'm shooting on an A7 IV, and based off where I shoot, like in a studio and stuff, it has never overheated shooting at 4K 25p at 140 megabits in 4 to 10-bit. Whether it's setting up the shot and doing test shots or just running the video for like 20 minutes of me just sitting here and talking, it's not overheated. And similarly, when I went to Shags with this, shooting out in the hot sun and in front of Nyamachoma fires for a really long time, didn't overheat. I was shooting 4K 60, 200 megabits, 4 to 10-bit, didn't overheat. I was shooting photos in RAW, uncompressed, didn't overheat. I was going back and forth between photos and videos, 4K 60s and RAWs, didn't overheat. I had my screen at a certain point on the camera, didn't overheat. And literally I was standing between fires and the sun and fire and the sun and fire and the sun, shooting non-stop, it didn't overheat. So the next thing I've really been enjoying is the image quality. It's just phenomenal. 422 10-bit just completely annihilates 8-bit. Like, it's like, yes, reviewers, this is one thing reviewers and myself will talk about, like 10-bit is a real reason to upgrade from the A7 III. It's just night and day difference. For the first time, I used like a accent light that was a different color than my wall, and there was no banding. And there was no banding throughout the entire image. It was, I can't even, it's so hard to explain how different it is, like in terms of quality, just the clarity, just the look of the colors, just how everything pops out so well, and just color grading it in general. Everything is just so nice. Like, it's just way better. Like, the quality is just better, like plain and simple, better quality, especially in colors. So yeah. So now, I'm gonna move on to the things I don't like about this camera, which I think there's only two. First of all, the mode dial video photo switch. Now, I really like it in terms of what it's supposed to do, but I don't like how it's implemented. How it's structured, it goes from photo to video to SNQ. Now, the problem comes in because that switch is not very tactile. And the problem is, when you try and go from photo to video, the switch can easily throw into SNQ. In fact, 90% of the time when I'm trying to switch from photo to video, it does throw over into SNQ, and that's a big problem. And then sometimes, because it's such a non-tactile lever that you can even go from photo to SNQ and then mistakenly back to photo, because video is right there in the middle. You're trying to manage the pressure of going between photo and video. My solution to Sony would have been have photo mode on one side, have video mode on the other side, and SNQ in the middle. This way, even without looking at the switch, I would have just been able to hold the button, the lock button, and just flick the switch one side and I know I'm in video, flick the switch to the other side, I know I'm in photo. As long as it's on one extreme end, I know that I've changed from either photo or video or vice versa. Additionally, another solution is make it a more tactile switch. That way, I'm not skipping into other modes. I mean, it should have had the same tactility as the mode dial itself, which when going from M to custom 1, custom 2, and custom 3, I'm not throwing past the ones that I want because it's tactile enough. I don't think they've fixed it in any of the newer ones because I've seen the A7R5 has the same layout. Maybe the switch is more tactile, but it's still photo, video, SNQ, so I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, that's about it for this guy, man. I love this camera. I don't think I've enjoyed using a camera as much as I have this one. I can't emphasize how much I like this camera. Like, it's just It's wow, I love it. This camera is really good. Anyway guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you have any questions regarding you know, this guy or anything else camera related, please do leave a comment below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And before I go, once again, as I always do, if you want to use NMK Studio, the space, the lights, you know, the cameras, you know, all of these that you're seeing for either photography or video work, these are the rates listed over here. I think I keep changing the sides, but here they are this time, so we'll figure out which side they actually go on. But for now, they're on this side. So yeah, those are the rates. Again, in the description, you'll find our website, so you can check us out there, like what we've done before. It's good about the space and stuff like that. Instagram page is also listed there, and the easiest way to get a booking is to DM us on Instagram. That's the fastest way you can get a booking. Contacts are also listed on both the website and the Instagram for you to call, which I believe is actually faster than DMing us on Instagram. So yeah, if you call that number, that's the fastest way to get a booking. DMing is the second fastest. And yeah, not doing anything is the slowest, of course, but yeah. These plugs need to get better. I'm so bad at plugging this place. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, especially if you like the content. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I'm gonna toss this. And cut.